Oh, Snow White, full fairy tale story, complete version. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, a kind queen sat by her window in winter, sewing. As she worked, she pricked her finger, and a drop of blood fell on the snow. She looked at the red on the white snow and said, "I wish I had a daughter with skin as white as snow, lips as red as blood, and hair as black as ebony." Soon, her wish came true. She had a beautiful baby girl named Snow White. But sadly, the queen died, and the king remarried. The new queen was very beautiful, but also very vain and cruel. She had a magic mirror, and every day she would ask, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror always answered, "You are my queen." But as Snow White grew older, she became more beautiful. One day, the mirror replied, "Queen, you are lovely, it is true, but Snow White is fairer than you." The queen's jealousy turned into rage. She ordered her huntsman to take Snow White deep into the forest and kill her. But when he saw Snow White's innocent face, he couldn't do it. Instead, he told her to run away and never return. Snow White ran, scared and alone, through the dark forest, where even the trees seemed to whisper. Finally, she came upon a tiny cottage, where everything was small. The chairs, the beds, the dishes. She was so tired. She curled up and fell asleep on a bed. Soon the owners of the house returned, 7 dwarfs, each with a unique personality. Their names were Doc, Grumpy, Happy, Sleepy, Bashful, Sneezy, and Dopey. At first, they were surprised to see someone in their home. But when Snow White told them her story, they welcomed her with open arms. Snow White made their cottage warm and happy. She cooked delicious meals, sang cheerful songs, and kept the house neat. The dwarfs warned her, "Beware of strangers, especially the queen." Meanwhile, back at the castle, the evil queen asked her mirror again, and the mirror replied that Snow White was still the fairest. Furious, she decided to disguise herself and kill Snow White herself. First, she dressed as an old peddler woman and offered Snow White a tight corset, which nearly choked her. But the dwarfs returned just in time and saved her. Then the queen tried again, this time with a poisoned comb. But once again, the dwarves rescued her. On the third try, the queen made a poisoned red apple, one bite of which would cause eternal sleep. She disguised herself again and tricked Snow White. As soon as Snow White took a bite, she collapsed, still and silent. The dwarfs were heartbroken. They placed her in a glass coffin in the woods, because she was so beautiful, even in sleep. Birds sang sad songs. Animals sat quietly by her side. One day, a young prince came by. He had heard of Snow White and her kindness. Seeing her in the glass coffin, he was overwhelmed by sorrow and leaned in to kiss her. Suddenly, her eyes opened. The curse was broken by true love's kiss. The forest rejoiced. The dwarves danced, the birds chirped, and Snow White was full of life again. The prince asked her to come with him to his kingdom, and Snow White said yes. They were soon married in a grand celebration, and even the animals were invited. As for the evil queen, when she asked her mirror the final time,